Hold up. Yeah.
Talk about, well, how did you start the store?
Well, actually, the store was founded in 1954 by my cousin John Maricas. In those years, people needed a place to go to, music, a little Greek place, a lot of Greek people in the community. So, and they started a Greek radio program with some friends from one of the communities, the Annunciation Cathedral at that time. And then they opened the shop back in '54 to serve the community. To be here for them when they needed something in a new country when they came. So slowly it became bigger. And then the radio program continued. Then I became involved in the early '60s with the radio program in the shop. And what else? I mean, that's how it was founded. And it continued to be. People continue to come and shop. And we have, in recent years, we do more, like the music is not bought the way it used to be because people don't buy CDs anymore. They burn them. So we added the traditional things, like making favors for their events that they have, the weddings and the christenings. Like you see the candles here and little witness pins. And all the things that Greek Americans need in their traditional life in this country. Now, of course, everything is modernized, but we're still here. You know, we're still here functioning. Good. It's very difficult to continue to be here because everything is so fast, everything is computerized, everything is boom, 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 boom. But we like it slower, and we bring people back to the basics.
Good.
During the 19th century, the first Greeks in Baltimore were 9 young boys who arrived as refugees of the Chaos Massacre, the slaughter of tens of thousands of Greeks on the island of Chaos at the hands of the Ottomans during the Greek War of Independence. During the 20th century, by the 1920s, a vibrant yet small community had been firmly established at the St. Nicholas Greek Orthodox Church that was built to serve this growing community. At the peak of the Greek migration to Baltimore was between the 1930s and the 1950s. The Greek community gained its first political representation in 1959 when Peter Angelos became the first Greek American to be elected to the Baltimore City Council. The Greek population saw another smaller surge in numbers in the passage of the Immigration and Nationality Act of 1965, which allowed the immigration of thousands of Greeks, and this wave of immigrants to Baltimore ended by the early 1980s. During the 1980s, the Greek residents of the neighborhood, that was known simply as the Hill, successfully petitioned the city government to rename the neighborhood to Greektown, and by the time the Greek community was 25,000 people strong. And during the 21st century, while there was still a strong Greek American presence in the Greektown and Highlandtown, the population of the Greek community has been declining. The population is aging, and many have moved out of the original Greek neighborhoods. And now the Latino population is increasing rapidly as the Greek population decreases, and the majority of newcomers are Latino.
Greek cuisine?
Yes.
We have several restaurants here which are excellent. We can start from Icarus, which is on Panga and Eastern Avenue. They have very good food, Greek and American. It's a big place. It has all kind of parties, entertainment. We have a lady came from Greece, a singer. She was there a couple of nights. We also have the Acropolis, which is in the corner. Spent there a long time. They have a very, very good food. Then we come down next door is Zorba's, which has got excellent food. Everybody comes to Zorba's. Everything fresh fish, and everything's fresh, made on order. Then we have Samus. Excuse me. Samus, which is a block away on North End Street. Very famous restaurant. People known from all over the world. I've been to travel different places in the airplane. I happened to be next to the passenger, and they say, well, I've been to Samus. Everybody knows Samus. So they make everything go in order, whatever you want right there and there. It's very good. We have our church, which is on Ponca Street, St. Nicholas. It's been there 60 years. We have 1,200 members. We also have a building further up on Ponca Street, which we do a lot of weddings, a lot of private affairs, like weddings and anniversaries and all that. And we have coffee shops. This is one coffee shop here. And we all guys get together here, have coffee in the morning, and we talk. We also have a coffee shop across the street and a bakery combination.
Yeah, they just came from over there.
Yeah, and then we have another coffee shop here. And we also have another coffee shop here, coffee shop and restaurant on Newton Street, which is at the alley. And it's a peaceful place, no problems. Everybody gets together like here in the morning, we all get together, have coffee, we talk, the best time. And that's about it. Satisfied?
How would you compare Greektown to Greece?
Well, actually, Greektown is like Greece because now we don't have as many people because 90%, or I say like 8 out of 10 restaurants or stores, they were Greek. It was like a real Greek town. But the younger people move out to the Towson and different areas, and the old people passed away, and now there's a lot of new people come in, like you have the Spanish people come in, we have a lot of black people come in, we mostly mixed but nicely, mostly Mexicans, you know, like, you know, they're more than we are, because the Greek people, they're one out to the Canis. Especially up at Towson, that's where they are.
Next we get the festival.
We also have a festival which starts on June, I think 6, 7, 8, and 10. 4 days. We will start big festival right on Bunker Street. We're closing the streets so the cars will not go through because we have 1,000 of people come in. And you have all kind of menus which they people bring different things to, like a jewelry and so many things to sell. You feel like you're in Greece. But actually Greektown is not like where you used to be. Everything has changed, not like it used to be honest. Yes.
So you're saying that Greektown used to feel more like Greece?
Exactly. And when we get together here, we all talk. Most of the older people, they like to talk the Greek language. Me, I've been here over 60 years, and even if I want to talk Greek, the English come out first. Because I went to school, I went to Pali, I went to Pimbari, studied music. I try to educate myself as much as I could.
Oh, Yasu. Yasu means hello. Tikanis. Tikanis means how are you? Kala. Kala means good. In English language, 60% of the English words are Greek. The roots are from Greek language. You have, let me tell you something. You have the Greek language, okay? You have the Latin, okay? And you have the English. That's the way it goes. Greek, Latin, English. They took from each other. And then you have the Spanish, Latin, Spanish. So if you if you check the dictionary, all the medical terms, if you go down to John Hopkins Hospital, all the medical terms in Greek. You know, and all the medical terms, 70%. Mathematics is the same, astronomy is the same. Anything you want. The roots, because we are the ones that we create all this. You know.
In 1920, 699 people in Baltimore spoke the Greek language. In 1940, 1,200 Greek Americans lived in Baltimore. The Greek community in Baltimore metropolitan area numbered 16,764 as of 2000, making up 7% of the area's population. In the same year, Baltimore City's Greek population was 2,693, 4% of the city's population. In 2013, an estimated 2,611 Greek Americans resided in Baltimore City, 4% of the population. And as of September 2014, immigrants from Greece were the 24th largest foreign-born population in Baltimore, and the Greek language was the 9th most commonly spoken language other than English.
I've been working here about 22 years. I was born here. So, family restaurants. Do you want me to restart it?
No.
Restart. You good?
Yeah.
Cool. So 22 years since the day I was born. My father and my uncle opened the original location down the street in '69. And then after, the first day I could walk, I was in here, started washing plates. I was doing a little bit of everything, and now I do everything still, so nothing's changed. But 22 years is the answer.
Okay.
Have you ever been to the real Greece? Have you ever
Yes,
been?
a few times here and there when I was growing up.
How would you compare this to Greece?
The food, I'm guessing. What exactly?
Well, just what are the differences? What's the same?
Between America and Greece?
Yeah, like here in
Greektown.
Between Greektown and Greece. Okay, so here currently, everyone has moved out. It used to be Greektown like it was in Greece many, many years ago, 20 years ago. Now everyone moved out of the city. The first generation would be me because I was born here. The parents, they came here, they're all banded together so that they can make everything work. Everyone after that, myself and the rest of my generation, moved to the county because we're going to school, we're going to better education and higher education. So it's not very similar to Greece at all anymore. But we try to keep the sense of community, and we have the restaurants here.
You live in this area?
Yeah. We have the certain events. We have the festival here to try to bring back everybody. We have Greek nights here and there occasionally. So we try and keep it as close as possible, but it's proven to be difficult lately.
Okay. Next question, guys.
We've used a lot of questions today, so we're trying to come up with new ones.
Was this an original location, or was it something before?
You missed that.
The original location was right down the street. You're good. This is the new home as of August 2012. And we redid everything in here. It was not like this. There wasn't. I don't know if you can see the arcs over there. They weren't existent. The column here wasn't existing either. Excuse me. That's hiding a support beam. To be honest with you, that was kind of an eyesore.
So you built something around the support beam.
Took plaster and we took PVC pipes, put them together, and there you have it.
That's cool. Okay.
And the walls were all stucco. The ceiling. We did everything in here. You can see the pictures. Thank you. The pictures of Greece all around here were taken by my father, and you can see the donkey over there. That's how it used to be 50 years ago. But if you go to the same location now, you'll probably see somebody walking with a donkey.
Okay.
Okay, Instagram this real quick.
Can I ask questions?
Sure.
Yeah.
What is the subject of your project?
Well, we were supposed to pick a part of Baltimore to study, and
You guys picked
we
Greece.
just chose
The
this.
most interesting thing I've had first was Greektown.
I would have went with the Harvard, man. Aquarium, Science Center.
I think it has to be a neighborhood.
Local
like,
affairs.
It was a neighborhood.
little-
I see the Poly shirt. Do you go to Poly?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not
Not
yet.
He's
yet?
going to Poly. You
You
got
guys are gonna
it.
go to. Who's going to Poly here? Where are you guys gonna go?
I'm going to Bard.
Me
Golden
too.
Park?
He's going to
Bard, he's going to Bard,
He's
going to Okay.
He's the enemy.
You guys
He's going to
play
city.
football? Do you guys play football?
I play soccer.
I don't play football or team.
Well, if you consider chess a sport, then that's my
Yeah,
favorite.
I go to UNBC
We all
and we
solve
have
Rubik's Cubes.
the number one chess team for the U.S.
And we also solve
Rubik's Cubes all
Rubik's Cubes are fun. I can never do them.
Oh, see, that's the gentleman from the
record's
coffee
6
shop, I believe.
It's my grandfather.
Okay.
That is my
Okay.
mother's father.
Okay, so they talked to them earlier this
Talk to
morning.
them there.
before he came up here.
That's small to more, but there's the community. We bounce each other back and forth. So while the younger generation is doing whatever they do now, the people who were here originally, they're still here, and it's fun to see. It's
Yeah, it
crazy to
is.
see how everyone knows everyone. And
To all my followers,
another
hashtag
little
food
example thing.
Oh my goodness, those dishes are huge.
Wow.
My father's from the island Ikaria. My mom's from the island Samos. These two islands are side by side in Greece. They met here in Baltimore down the street.
Okay.
And
Wow.
they knew each other's families from way back when. It predated everything. So it's 4,000 miles away and everyone can still find each other somehow.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Okay.
You guys gonna enjoy the food?
Yep, I just
Yeah.
Instagrammed it, so that means it's good.
Hashtag Ikaros, right? IKAROS.
Oh no, it's like food every day.
Food every day.
No,
Throw another
hashtag.
hashtag.
Another hashtag?
Okay, another hashtag.
Hashtag the name of the restaurant. We'll like it.
Okay.
We'll post it up at some point.
All right.
So
Great,
I mean,
great.
edit.
if you guys have any other questions, please let me know. And more than happy.
Did you have
thank
any
for
questions
letting
about
us
the
interview.
cuisine?
Not a problem. Thank you for asking.
Are these original dishes from?
Yes.
Okay.
So,
Absolutely.
these are called Greek meatballs. What makes them Greek?
The blend of the meat is not strictly a beef meatball as they would do in Italian restaurants or Swedish. There's a little bit of onion, and the herbs that they use inside of there are a Greek blend per se. They do use a little bit of olive oil in them as well. The only one that might not be original, but it's kind of shared between the two cultures, the Greek and Italian. This one right here is the pasticcio, and it kind of looks like lasagna. And I think honestly it tastes like lasagna. So when people ask, what is this dish? I'm like, it's a Greek lasagna, basically, but with like a creamy top.
No, you all go ahead and enjoy.
Well, thanks for letting us in.
Thank you guys very much.
In Greektown, we learned a lot. Now here's the short story of it. Almost all the people we interviewed gave us life lessons. These lessons included stay in school, educate yourself, stay on the right path, and enjoy your youth. They also taught us how Greektown was founded by Greeks, but over time the Greek population decreased as the Hispanic population increased. Greek culture is still avid in Greektown, but the residents say it's not as Greek as it used to be. People on the internet doing reviews in the neighborhood think similar, saying that it feels more Salvadorian than Greek. Walking down the streets of Greektown, we realized that this was primarily not true, as there was a lot of Greek restaurants and only one Salvadorian place, but it was a quickie mart style more than a restaurant. All in all, Greektown is a place with a lot of Greek culture. We also learned that Greektown is very different in comparison to Baltimore as a whole in the sense of the community, rather than the average income, average house price, and other averages. The community in Baltimore is different everywhere you go, but in Greektown, you feel like you're in a whole new place separated from everything else. Again, community-wise. This was a short story of what we learned in Greektown.
The first Greeks in Baltimore arrived in 1920, 699 people lived in Baltimore that spoke the Greek language. In